everybody, this is Heather Sides. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Spokane, Washington, coming to you live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I usually have 3 projects of some sort to share with you and to show you how I made them, and we have some fun along the way. So I encourage you to participate in the conversation, talk to one another, talk to me. That just makes things just a little bit more fun. I sure do enjoy it when we do that. So give me a moment here. I'm just trying to get my computer all set up, make sure that I can see what's going on the screen. I want to be able to see your comments. So let's see here. Sometimes I have to go all the way out and come back in. I am not the most technically savvy person out there, so you kind of have to bear with me. It looks like I'm on now, so that's a good sign. I got where I need to be. I see there's a few of you here. Hey, Judy, Kathy, Marcy, Tammy, welcome everybody. I love it when there's a good turnout right from the get-go. That makes me happy. I've got lots of fun stuff to share with you tonight. Some great events coming up that I'm excited about. And then, of course, I'm excited about the projects that I made tonight. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I have anything else going on to tell you about. This, this is kind of my thing every week. Hey, Eric, welcome. I go through this every week where I say, let me think if there's anything to tell you about. I probably should make notes to myself so that I can sit down and go, oh yeah, I want to tell you about this. Oh yeah, I want to tell you about that. Let's see, tomorrow I go in for the follow-up on the heart monitor I had to wear. So I'm feeling pretty confident they're going to say, okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. Well, not in regard to this anyway. And let me schedule my shoulder surgery. So fingers crossed we can get that taken care of. Lucy is getting bigger all the time, and she is a handful. She is a handful, but she's so sweet, and it's a good thing she's cute. My husband has to leave for work usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I get up in the morning. So rather than putting her back in her crate, because he gets up at like 4, and he feeds her and takes her out and all that. And then instead of putting her back in her crate when he leaves, he's been putting her in bed with me. And it's so nice to wake up with this snuggly warm puppy, but it does make it difficult to get out of bed on time, and therefore difficult to get to work on time. So, it's a snuggly puppy. Come on. How does that compete with work? It doesn't. So we've got that going on. We've still got some stuff we're working on in our household. I mentioned last week, so keep those good thoughts coming. I'm not quite sure yet what direction things are going. Some days it feels like they're going better. Some days it feels like they're not. So just keep those good thoughts coming. I know they really do help. So Robin says, no contest. You are absolutely right, Robin. There is no contest between going to work and a snuggly puppy. Come on. Yes, exactly. I'm looking at your little picture there. And usually what she does, because I scoot to the bottom of the bed, because for whatever reason, I like my feet hanging off the end of the bed, and I'm like this tall. So I scoot way down to the bottom of the bed, and I take one of my pillows with me, but then I leave 2 pillows up at the head of the bed. And so that's where Lucy likes to sleep. Usually she'll climb up onto those pillows and lay there and sleep. But the last couple days, it's kind of funny. She's been on Bill's side of the bed, all sprawled out across his side of the bed. So I don't know if that's a new thing. I don't know if that's like the way it's going to be now, or if she's going to go back to my pillows or whatever. But even still, it's pretty sweet to wake up to. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and turn this camera around. We're going to talk about a few specials we've got coming up, and then we're going to get going on our cards. So let me know if you guys have any questions or anything, and let's get this camera turned around. Hang on. Okay. I have everything going the right direction even. That's always a nice plus. Move the camera a little bit here. Thank you, Marcy. I bought this several years ago and I don't wear it very often, and I think it's just because I forget I have it in my closet, but it's really comfy. Um, okay, so first thing I want to remind everybody about, I've been kind of remiss about telling you guys it was coming up, but on Saturday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Time, Stampin' Up! Is hosting a free virtual card making event. And you can sign up for it. You can go to my website, and right on the homepage there is like a, I don't know what you call it, a teaser ad or whatever, that if you click on it, it will tell you a little bit more about the event and then also give you the link to sign up. It's like it says here, it's free, so it doesn't cost anything. And apparently they're going to be making some big announcement. And it sounds like everybody, I get the impression from the way they have worded things that they're going to be making the announcement during the event. So might be something that you want to check out. I am all for sweater weather too, Tammy. I like to be warm. Like, to me, being warm is more than just not being cold, right? I mean, I want to be that warm, snuggly feeling. Yeah, and I love sweaters and jeans, especially big, bulky sweaters that, make you look like you weigh 50 pounds more than you really do, but boy, they're sure comfy, right? Okay, so we've got the the World Card Making Day event on Saturday. If I can pick up my papers here. Then I also want to tell everybody, I every month I do a paper pumpkin alternate ideas video. And this month's event, or this month's video, hey Susan, welcome. This month's video is a little bit late. I have to tell you what happened. I thought my paper pumpkin subscription expires next month. So I went and I bought my new subscription, ready for next month. Of course, I bought it after the 10th of the month, right? Well, then I went in to look and see when my kit for this month was supposed to arrive, to see, when it shipped and all that. And it hadn't shipped. My subscription expired this month. And so I totally missed the boat on getting it. But Robin came to my rescue and she mailed me hers to use. Bless her, bless her, bless her for doing that. Marcy, you are absolutely right. It is so cute. It makes these really adorable, I should show you, these really adorable little treat boxes. These are the 3 little treat boxes, and they open this way. Aren't these cute? These are the 3 that the kit is intended to make. It's intended to make 5 of each one. And I am now working on alternate ideas so that I can show them all to you on Saturday, this Saturday. Yes, Marcy, SU friends are the best. Hey, Carla, welcome. It is nice how in the Stampin' Up! Community, everybody just steps in to help one another when we can. And I love that because, not every area of your life is that going to be the case. So I love that Stampin' Up! Is like that. Anyway, so Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be doing my alternate ideas video. So I would love for you to join me and see what I come up with for that. And again, big thank you to Robin for sending me her kit. Okay, so then we have this other amazing special coming up starting October 4th, running through the 31st of October, where you get your starter kit. Normally, you pay $99 and you get $125 worth of products. In this case, you're going to get $155 worth of products, and you get to pick out what you want in your kit. In addition to the items that you pick out, you also get free shipping. You get, which is about a $16 savings right there. You also get a free paper pumpkin kit, which is like another $23 there. You get those in addition to the $155 worth of products you get to pick out. So if you don't have a lot of things yet, you can go for some of the basics that you need. But say you already have the basics, then you can get some of the some of the other things that you've been wanting off your list for a while. That's what I love about our kit. You build it to be whatever you want it to be. So if you want more information about that, you can, of course, email me at stamphappenings@gmail.com. You can send me a message here on Facebook, or you can go to my website, heathersides.stampinup.net. Click on, I think it's join or join my team, and you can find out more information about it, and you can sign up right then and there if that's what you would like to do. So if this is something that you've considered doing and you're kind of on the fence, this is a great time to try it for no obligation. You pay your $99, try it out for 3 months. If you decide it's not for you, then you just go back to being a customer, and no hard feelings on anybody's part. They don't come after you, to pay anything back or anything like that. You just try it out, see what you think. So again, if you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to talk to you about that. So with that, I think we're going to get going on, we're going to do our drawing for the week, and then we're going to get going on making our cards. Most of you guys know the way you get entered into the weekly drawing is simply participating in the conversation, even if you just simply say hello. Oh, thank you, Marcy, for posting the link for me. I appreciate that. Even if you just say hello, that counts as participating in the conversation. So you don't have to be on here live. If you are watching a replay, either on Facebook or YouTube, just say hello. Tell me where you're from. I love to hear where everybody's from. But if you're on here live, I do encourage you to participate in the conversation because it is a lot of fun. Melinda just joined us. Welcome, Melinda. Anyway, so what I do is the next week, right before I go live, I go back to the prior week's video, and I get all the names of people who made comments on both YouTube and Facebook, and then I put them into a drawing and draw a name that I announce at that night's video. Hey, Kathy, welcome. Yes, I'm hoping your internet cooperates too. I'm hoping mine does as well. So anyway, tonight's winner is getting a pack of our Oh So Ombre Designer Series paper. You can see there's quite a bit of paper here. I want to say it's like 44 sheets, but don't quote me on that because I sometimes lie. But there's 4 different colors and different patterns, couple different patterns. It's just really fun paper to work with. And tonight's winner is Kathy Machaya. I'm sorry if I just slaughtered your name, Kathy. I don't think I have your address. So if you want to send me either an email at stamphappenings@gmail.com or send me a message here on Facebook with your snail mail address, then I can get this out in the mail to you. So congratulations, Kathy. So let's get going. Our first card that we're going to make tonight. Hang on, I'm going to open my door because I have my assistant scratching to come in. Oh, I was going to let her in. She can come in if she wants. Okay. She gave up scratching apparently and went to go hang out in the bathtub. I told you that's where she likes to hang out. Okay, so this week's card, we're using the Elephant Parade stamps and dies. I love the little elephants and his little peanut. And I'm so excited because look, in the dies, there's little peanut dies. I'm way too excited by this. So anyway, that's what we're going to use for this first card. Hello, Miss Lucy. And here's the card we're going to make. Here, come over here and everybody can see your little nose. Up, up. There, can you, here. See if everybody, there we go. Everybody can see you. Up. Say hi to the people. Yeah, I know she's upside down, but that's really not a big, huge detour from the norm with her, to tell you the truth. Hey, Nell, welcome. Okay, so anyway, this is the card that I used. Oh, and I also used the black and white designer series paper, which is a lot of fun, lots of fun patterns in that. And here's what we're going to make tonight. So let's see what the inside, on the inside, there's some little balloons there. So let's get going on this card. And this one, we're just using a basic white card base. So let's go ahead and fold that and make the edge nice and crisp here. She is pretty adorable, Judy. Problem is she knows it, and she tends to probably get away with a lot more than she should. Okay, got our card base right there. Let's go ahead and do our envelope first. So I've got a strip here that's 2.5 inches by 6 inches, and we'll just glue this right onto the flap. Do, 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 do. Musical interlude. Okay, now stick this piece on. Line it up with the top. Quick and easy peasy. Now we'll just take the snips. And by the way, if you do not have a good pair of scissors, I really recommend our paper snips. They're only $10 and they just cut so nicely. And you know, once they'll get kind of gluey from doing things like what I'm doing right now sometimes. Just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and they clean right up. But they really are nice scissors, and because they're smaller but sharper, you can get into those little grooves when you're doing fussy cutting, and I really like mine. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Let's get going on our card. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Got this piece right here. We might as well just go ahead and glue this together now, because we can put it on our card and then it's out of the way and we don't lose it. So I just have this, the color is, hold on, Melon Mambo. I always want to say Marvelous Magenta. It's a color we had 100 years ago. And I'm just laying this strip over the Melon Mambo. See, I almost forgot what it was already. Glue it on there. And then we're going to stick it to the front of the card. Try to keep my glue upside down so that I let gravity do the trick for me, so that it so that the glue keeps coming out nice and easy. Okay. And this strip, by the way, is 2 inches by 5.5 inches. And we're just going to put it right here. You can kind of put it however far over you want to put it, but I'm putting it right about here. There we go. Now I have this little scrap, and we're going to do, for this card, you need I almost said an envelope. That's not an envelope, folks. That's an elephant. Hey, Kathy, you are our weekly drawing this week. And I see Kathy just joined us. So I don't have your mailing address, I don't think. So if you'll send it to me, either an email or a message here on Facebook, I can pop it in the mail to you. Okay, so we need an elephant and we need 4 of these balloons. I figured you guys would get bored watching me color all the balloons. So I'm only going to actually do 1, and I did the other 3 ahead of time. You're welcome. So get out my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And my little elephant. I have a cousin who is 8 years younger than me. And when he was little, he called them elephants. And to this day, that's what I say that, elephants. I love it when kids say things wrong. You hear Whipped Cream by Herb Alpert's Tijuana Brass? I'm not sure where you're hearing that because it's not coming from me. Are you coming in, or did you just want to scratch the door? Okay, so we've got our see, I almost called it an envelope again. And we have our balloon. If I do it this way. There. And I'm not worried about that little line there because I'm going to die cut it anyway. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to color these with our Stampin' Blend markers. Oh, elevator music. Got it. Got it. Yeah, Marcy. Should we be concerned? You know, probably, but okay. So I've got all my little markers here. I have the light and dark of the granite gray, I think. No, smoky slate, light and dark of petal pink, and light and dark of melon mambo. And we're just going to start coloring these in. So I'm going to start with my elephant. This is the dark petal pink. And I'm just kind of getting around the outer edge of the ear. Like that. And then the light. Then I'm going to take my dark, I just said smoky slate. Robin doesn't even know if she's been drinking. Welcome, Joan. Joan's joining us again this week. Ooh, let's see. I might be able to turn my flash on. Ooh, there we got some light. Let there be light, and there was light. Okay, so now I'm taking my dark smoky slate, and I'm going to do this part of the ear. And then I'm going to do the little tail piece right there, and then kind of around the outer edge of my little elephant. And I'm going to do his little toes. I just love these little elephants. They're so cute. They just make me happy. So I've done the outline there, but now what I'm going to do is kind of take the brush tip and just kind of, I like to do this because it makes it a little less, I'm trying to think what the line, how I want to say it, a little less perfect, I guess. Not that it was perfect to begin with, but I just feel like it makes it look a little more natural when you do that. Now I'm going to blend with my light smoky slate. Be careful going around the eye. And then I'm going to go over that pink ear just so slightly. See, so you can still see the pink through it, but it's not so bright pink. Not that it was a bright pink to begin with, but in my mind, it looks a little bit more natural. Just trying to blend these a little bit more. There we go. Now let's do the balloon. Again, taking the dark one first, going around the outer edges. Now we'll do the inside. I don't know, it's really the inside, but it's one side with the lighter one and blend it. Color the little knot on the end of the balloon. You can't really see it, but it's funny because you can't really see it colored, but boy, it sure stands out if you don't color it. So, okay, now let's go ahead and I'll get my little die cut. I'm going to use the mini one this week. I try to use the mini one when I can because I feel like you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay. So now I'll get my dies out. Whoops, they're not in the stamp box. They're in with the dies. And get a little bit of my Post-it tape. Let's see. Okay, so got this little die here. And line it up. And of course you don't have to use Post-it tape. Some people use, there's a Scotch brand one that people like. I really like this one. I haven't had any problems with it, but there's a few out there that work well, different brands that work well for this kind of thing, that it just helps hold your die in place without tearing up your image. Okay, now lining this up, little trick, the way that you know if you've got the tail of the balloon in the right place, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I accidentally will do it off, like at a little more of an angle than it should be, and then it cuts off the tail when I want the tail. We're going to cut it off in this case anyway, but what you do is see that little hole right there in the end. What I do is I swing it around till I can see my black line of the tail through that hole. And now I know that that part is lined up. And if I need to adjust the top of the balloon, I can, but at least I know the bottom of the balloon is, or the bottom of the die is where it needs to be. Now let's go ahead and feed this through. Sorry about the wiggle. Okay. Now put all these pieces away. And of course my tape comes right back off and I can reuse it. You can get quite a few uses out of the tape before you have to replace it. Whoops, upside down. There we go. And I'll put it back in its little folder. Okay, now for this little balloon, I'm actually going to cut off the tail. And you'll see why in a minute. Or you may have already noticed on the sample card. What we're going to do now is take our card and we're going to pop him up a little bit with dimensionals. So let's get the dimensionals out. And actually, I think I'm going to use the smaller ones on him because there are some smaller parts on him, like his trunk, that I want to make sure to get a dimensional under. And I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. You know this is my favorite tool of all my tools. Oh, Lucy. Something is disagreeing with her tummy, apparently. Makes me wish I'd kept her in the living room with my husband. Ooh, Lucy. Okay, I know that's a lot of dimensionals, but you know me, I do a lot of dimensionals. It's part of my charm. Taking all these little pieces off now. Because, you know, it's not as fun if there aren't 100 of them all over the place afterward. Okay, and now I'm just going to stick him right on there, just like so. Then I'm going to take my little balloon, and I cut myself 3 little strands of black baker's twine. The first one, I'm just going to go ahead and stick right. I should have done this before I put him down. Gosh darn me. How are we going to do this? Well, we're going to try this. I'm going to lift it kind of upside down and just put a little bit of glue on his trunk. I almost called it his antenna. And then I'm going to put whoops, my baker's twine in there. Just hold it in place for a minute while the glue gets tacky. Oh no, Colleen says her power keeps flickering on because of the hurricane, so she's gonna have to catch the replay. I'm glad to hear that you're safe. Yes, our hearts go out to everybody in Florida, hoping that everybody can maintain safety. You take care. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is figure out about where I want that little balloon. And I think I'm going to want it right about here maybe. So figure out where I wanted to trim it. Now for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. I'm going to take my dimensional. I'm going to set this on my dimensional. I'm going to set my balloon on the string. There. I don't want it that curved. I do like having a little bit of a curve. It just shows some movement. There, like that. Now what I'm going to do is I have two other little pieces here, and I'm going to tie two teeny tiny little bows. I love itty bitty little bows. I love bows. I'm such a girly girl. I don't like how the twine though is unwinding here. Now I'm just kind of playing with it to get the loops the size that I want them. I don't like the way it's twisting around. Make it stop. This is the time when I suggest allow yourself to be a little bit wasteful and make your bow, or use a little too much twine, because when you have a little extra, you can tie a little bit better bows. Just saying. Still is a little bit bigger than what I really wanted, but sometimes you just have to accept your situation for what it is. Life Lessons with Heather. Okay. So there's one little bow. And I'm going to, of course, trim the tails. And then I'm going to take a glue dot to put it on. And I'm just putting it right there. Oops, didn't come off. I'm kind of just folding it up behind the bow there because it's so small. Hey Sharon, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so this first one, I'm going to put it right here so it looks like it's tied to his trunk. Then we're going to tie another one. And hopefully not spend, another hour tying that one little bow. I don't mind tying bows, but it might have been a little ambitious to think I could do it with this small amount of thread. Now let's get this twisted the directions that I want it and get my loops the size that I want them. Now Nell says she has a hard time tying big bows. So are little ones easy for you? Okay. There we go. That one went pretty quick, didn't it? Okay. Now another little glue dot to put the bow on. Another nice thing about the glue dots is if the pieces aren't laying the way you want them to, the glue dot helps hold them where you want them. Okay, so I think I'm going to do this with my Take Your Pick tool this time, just because it's so small, such a small little area I'm working with. Stick it on there. Let's trim off all these little tiny trimmings that I cut off there. Now we're going to put this right there. There. See, and now our card is done on the front. Now we'll do the inside. The inside's going to go pretty quick and easy. Oh, actually, we're not done on the front. We still need to do our sentiment. Get my little balloons out here. Okay. What did I do? There it is. Get my Melon Mambo ink out and my sentiment that is around here somewhere. What a happy day. Okay, this just happens to be the scrap left over from when I made my first one. I'm going to do it kind of toward the left here. Ooh. It's hard to see if it's straight. Nope, and it is not straight. There we go, that's better. Okay, put my ink pad away. See these, I'm going to see if you can see these. When I talk about there being a lip on here because of when you cut it, if I'm too close, I guess you can't really see it. Darn, I wanted to be able to show you what I'm talking about, where it sticks up from having cut it. And I just flatten that back out with my bone folder. I guess that one's kind of crooked too, but that's okay. I'm just going to cut it at an angle here. And put some dimensionals on the back. Make sure I'm putting it on the side that's crooked, or most crooked, I should say. Oh yeah, and on this one, I also found that I needed to put I needed to stack them on this end, this very end piece, and I'll show you why here. Let me stack them and then I'll show you. The reason is because these dimensionals, this side of this piece is over levels that have extra sheets of cardstock under them. So they're going to be a little bit higher, whereas this end piece is going directly to the card base. So I needed to pop it up a little bit to compensate for those extra layers of cardstock that that are on the under the other pieces. Oh, aha! You kind of got to take the backs off of all of the pieces, not just one. All right. There we go. Now we'll do the inside really quick. I've got my little balloons And all I did here is put a little bit of glue on them. Throwing stuff around now. Got my last little balloon here. There we go. And now I'm just going to take my snips and trim off the pieces that go beyond the card. There, like that. Oh, and now I got a little bit of glue on my fingers that I just wiped on the inside of my card. So I'll erase it with my glue eraser. If you don't have one, you need one. Hold on, I'm going to let the dog out now. Here you go, dog. Okay, so card number 1 is done. And isn't it adorable? I don't like that coming up like that, but there we go. Card number 1. Okay, put a few things away here, and then we'll get started on card number 2. It's easier if I clean my mess as I go. Okay, card number 2. This one's kind of fun. Very simple and very fun. And we're going to use the Good Feelings stamps. I love this because I love big sentiments. And what's kind of funny is, well, not funny, but you could use any of these sentiments on this card because it's going on the inside of the card. And then I'm using these are the Cottage Flowers dies that go with the Abbey Rose bundle or suite. And we're going to use this big die right here. So, oh, and I'm going to need the big machine for that. I forgot. Okay, so let's start by showing you the card. So here's the card. And I don't know how well you can see this, but it's sparkly in here because I used my Wink of Stella. Cheryl's joined us. Welcome, Cheryl. And there's the inside of the card. So let's go ahead and get started. Get some of these pieces out. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, this weekend my husband is running his 2nd marathon. He wants to try to qualify to run the Boston Marathon, and there are only a certain number of races that take place that you can run that the results qualify you for the Boston, and this is one of them. But he doesn't think he's going to qualify this year. It would be exciting if he did, though. Looks like Teresa's joined us. Welcome, Teresa. So anyway, yeah, so he's going to Minnesota, I think Minneapolis, and I'm trying to think where he goes from Minneapolis to, gosh, I don't remember now, but it's 26.1 miles away, or 26.2 miles away, I can tell you that. Okay. Yeah, it is kind of exciting, Robin. I was able to go to the last one that he ran, but I'm not going to this one. It's a little pricey to fly both of us there, just so that I can watch him cross the finish line, but I wish I could, though. Okay, so our card base is Pacific Point. This is a color I don't use very often, and I don't know why, because I think it's a really pretty blue. I think I just forget about it because I don't use it very often. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now set this aside for the moment. I've got a couple of pieces of basic white. One is slightly smaller than the other. The smaller one is going to go on the outside. So what I have here, this is a sheet of our one of our adhesive sheets. And I will tell him that, Teresa, thank you. And here's how our adhesive sheets work. You just peel it off like this. The adhesive is still on the piece that you peeled off. And you just stick it right there onto your paper. Gosh darn it, that's not the piece I wanted to put it on. Okay, so what I really want to do is put it on this piece. This piece is another piece of Pacific Point. You can see that I already ran it through the gingham embossing folder. I'm going to have to cut myself some more of this. Hang on just a second. And of course I have to open a whole new pack of paper. It couldn't just be there and be that simple, could it? Okay. Okay. We were just talking about this in our team meeting on Tuesday, yesterday. Hey, Vicki, welcome. About making mistakes and screwing things up during your lives to show that you're not perfect. And I am far from it. Okay, I'm almost there, you guys. Sorry. Okay, let's try this again. I actually want to put the adhesive sheet on the back of this. So here's what I'm going to do. You peel this off, and remember your adhesive stays on the pieces that that you peel off. Oh, Robin, you are not. You silly girl. Okay, so now I'm just going ahead and putting it. Why does it look like this is too small? It's not, but it looks like it. That's weird. But I'm just putting it right here on the back. Just like so. And then I am going to use my bone folder to kind of rub it in. Don't rub it too hard because you don't want to flatten out the embossed pattern. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my big embossing machine. And I'm going to get the die that we want to use. We want to use the big die here. Okay, now I'm going to just lay this here. Now, if you are concerned about it moving around, you can always tape it down. I want it to be pretty well centered here. I'm going to put the tape on both sides just to play it safe. And now we'll feed it through. Okay. Now, the one thing you want to be aware of is that does flatten out your image a little bit, or your pattern here from the embossing folder when you do that. But you definitely want to do the embossing folder part first, because if you do it second, it'll kind of mess with the shape of everything that you've cut out. So now you have all these little pieces that you can save for a rainy day if you so choose to put flowers back together. And actually, we're going to do a little bit of that tonight on the inside of the card. We're going to save this piece right here. And we'll save this flower right here. It'll fit on that little stem. And I'm just poking the rest of these little guys out. So what it's doing is it's leaving the negative space. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Now I'll move this out of the way. I'm going to just set them aside because I may choose to use those pieces at a later date. Set that aside. Now, here's the other piece. Let me make sure which one is smaller. Okay, the smaller one goes on the front. Here's what we're going to do. I've got a couple of my blending brushes. And then I have 3 colors of ink that we're going to use. I've got Highland Heather, Coastal Cabana, and Pacific Point. I'm going to start with my Coastal Cabana because I think it's probably the lightest of the 3. Okay, I don't want to point any fingers, but it kind of smells to me like somebody pooped on the floor. It doesn't look like they did it in here, so they maybe did it in the hallway. And again, I don't want to point fingers, but you can probably guess who it probably was. Get the excess off my brush right there. And then I'm just going to do a few, just kind of circles. I mean, they don't have to be perfect circles, but just a few spaces, I guess. Okay, now while I have this color out, I did also want to put it just around the edges of my white. I found, let me show you the inside of the card. It was so stark by putting the white there that I found that if I put just a very light bit of the Coastal Cabana around the edge, it softened it a little bit. So that's what we're going to do before we put this color away. There we go. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do much more than that because, like I said, I just wanted a little light bit. Then I'm going to take my Highland Heather. And I'm just using my blue brush. I use my blue one for blues and purples. Oh. That kind of ended up sort of weird there. I didn't get enough off the tip there, or off the brush ahead of time, but that's okay. We can still work with it. Okay, and now let's do the Pacific Point. Get some of that extra purple off. And I'm just kind of going now, taking it over the edges where the different colors meet. Just gets it all to blend a little bit better. There we go. I know that does not look super attractive like that. Oh, but wait, it will. Then take your Wink of Stella. Take the lid off. Shake it, baby. Okay, there's a comment that's showing up on my phone, but I can only see it part way, but I don't see it on my computer. And I think I got, what is it? Robin said she's pretty sure that something was me, and I'm wondering what I'm getting blamed for. I mean, not to say that I probably didn't do whatever it was, but okay, so I'm just squirting this out to get a little bit extra going down the pen. This one is almost dead, I think. And then I'm just going like this to flick it to get the little speckles of the Wink of Stella all over it. And you just do it to your little heart's content. Let's see, I'm going to hold it up. We'll see if we can you see the sparkles on the camera? Yeah, you can kind of see the sparkles there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're just going to stick it right over that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so we're going to peel these sheets off. I like sparkly galaxies, Marcy. Well, I like sparkly everything. Oh, I didn't get the blame. I got it. That Robin was saying it probably was not me that pooped. No, because I'm pretty sure if it was me, I would know. Just saying. Okay. This stuff is very, very sticky, which is good. I mean, you want it to stick well, except maybe not to you. Okay. Hey, Marcia, welcome. Okay, so now I'm just going to, I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to lay this over upside down like this. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Then I have some ribbon here. We're going to tie a ribbon around it. See, I gave myself lots of ribbon to work with on this one so that I could tie a nice bow fairly quickly. Now I say that, now watch it turn out all boogery. And that is a technical term, by the way. Oops, got my little loops a little big there. Okay, let's trim these. Trim the tails here. Oops. There we go. It's hanging kind of funny, but that's okay. And I don't like it. It's kind of loosey-goosey there, so I'm going to cut that so that I can turn around and tighten it. You've seen me do this before. That's true, Marcy. You could use the glimmer paper, or I guess Kathy said you could use the glimmer paper. Yes, you could, and I think that would be really pretty as well. But Marcy is right. Sometimes adhesive doesn't like to stick real well to the glimmer paper. Okay, so got that on there. Oops. I don't like it when the one tail is significantly longer than the other. Now it's probably just the opposite, but we're going to let it go. slide this down. Oh, I can't slide it down. I taped it there. Okay, so now I'm going to take an adhesive sheet, the foam adhesive sheets. Figure out where I put my foam adhesive sheets. Got to open a new pack. Get it together, Heather. Okay, so for something this size, I probably would just use a half of one. And then put the extras in the little bag I have. And then I take this one and I cut it in thirds. You've seen me do this before. Ooh, that would be really pretty to inlay the glimmer pieces right here, like to cut what they're saying, if you're not following this conversation, is cut this die out on the glimmer paper and then take the little pieces that cut out. Let me grab one like this, and you place it right in there where it cut out. So those are the glimmery pieces. That would be really pretty. That's a really good question. Kathy asked if the glimmer paper blends as well. And part of me thinks maybe it wouldn't because it's so textured, but I don't want to say that for sure because I have not tried it, so it might. Has anybody here done that? Okay, so now we're just going to stick this onto the front of our card. Careful, because remember these foam adhesive sheets, they like to stick once they're stuck. Okay, so there's the inside of our, or the outside of our card. All we need to do to finish it off now is to stamp our sentiment on the inside. Yes, that's right, Marcy. Somebody, stat. This is an emergency. And just, I'm going to make it kind of crooked because I like it. There we go. My stamp is not wanting to clean off. There's like lots of little nooks and crannies on this one. And now we'll just glue this to the inside of our card. By the way, if you follow me on Instagram, our Love to Stamp group is doing an Instagram hop tomorrow, and this is the card that I'm going to be showing. But if you go to my Instagram page, just look up Stamp Happenings, and you'll see this card. Then you can follow along and see everybody else in the group that is participating. They always make such amazing cards, and I can't wait to see what everybody else has come up with. So anyway, here's our card. Card number 2 in the books. By the way, this DSP is just the Pacific Point DSP that comes in the color families. Okay, let's get rid of some of this garbage here. I'm making a mess. A really, really big mess. Okay, now our last card. I'm so excited about this one. I don't know what my deal is, but I love wreaths. Hey, Carmen, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And tonight we're going to make a wreath using the Christmas Banners stamp set and dies. So this bundle, this is available in our July through December mini catalog. And what I love about it is, yes, it has some fall looking things in it, but you could use it for any sentiments or anything like that. In fact, the card that I'm making tonight, I specifically tried to steer clear of making it too Christmassy because I wanted you to see other ways you could use it. I also am using the Painted Texture embossing folder. So I used a couple embossing folders tonight. Here's the card we're going to make. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this card. I just think it's so beautiful. What did I do on the inside? Oh, and there's the inside. So let's go ahead and get started. This one I just stamped on the envelope. So I used Pear Pizzazz and soft seafoam ink, and I think I used I used the soft seafoam on the envelope. Take my scrap paper here, because it's going to matter on the ends, and I'm going to use this little stamp here. You can see it's just the little leaves, and I just kind of did sort of an S-ish pattern. Is S-ish a word? Well, it is now. There. That might have been a little thicker than I wanted, but that's okay. Then I also did this part ahead of time because it did take a little while and I didn't want to bore you with the details. But I stamped a bunch of that same stamp on some basic white cardstock. And then I cut them out with the dies. Come out, come out. You can't hide from me. There we go. Okay, so these pieces, I cut a couple pieces out of my Pear Pizzazz and soft seafoam because we're going to put those on the inside. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so all I did here is just took these two pieces, add a little glue to the back. You know, I think I actually want to lay this one down first. It's kind of an eye thing to have the lighter color on top. I don't always do that, but it does, I don't know, it's just one of those things that's how the eye likes to see it. So I'm going to put that one right about there. And then I'm going to take the soft seafoam, put a little glue on the back. Very little bit. Little goes a long way. And just kind of overlap it here. And then we're going to trim off the extra. There we go. And let's go ahead and mount this onto the inside of our card since it's done and ready to go. Oops, we have our card base, Pear Pizzazz, and it's just a half of a sheet of basic white half a sheet of Pear Pizzazz cardstock. Let's stick this on the inside just like that. Okay, now let's work on the front. So I have this piece of basic white that I already ran through the painted texture embossing folder that we're going to go ahead and mount it onto the soft seafoam. We'll do that now. There we go. And we can go ahead and mount this onto the card. The danger in doing this is if you don't get your wreath the way you want it, now you've got everything attached. So if that is something that concerns you, or maybe, you know, this, because this is the second one I'm doing and I kind of know how I want to do it, I'm not so worried about it. But on my first one, I probably, I did not mount it first because I wanted to be able to not have to worry about it already being attached. Okay. Okay, so now I have these little pieces that I stamped and then die cut. Okay, mostly I did it in the soft seafoam, but just for a little extra, I did a few in the Pear Pizzazz. Let me show you an easy way to make a nice round wreath. So I put a little glue on here. And what I did is I did 12 o'clock. I'm going to put it at 12, 3, 6, and 9. Just like so. And now I'm going to put pieces in to, see, I used to do that too, Marcy. I used to avoid it because I couldn't make them round. And this works really well for me. Another thing that works really well is take one of your circle dies, cut a circle, then trace it on your paper really lightly, because you're going to be laying the pieces over the pencil mark anyway. They're not going to show. And then you know you have a nice round circle. Now, you don't want to put too much glue on here because part of the reason is A, it doesn't take a whole lot, but B, these darker ones here, we're going to want to be able to slide them under the other pieces so that they stick out. So you don't want to have too much glue already set up on your wreath. Okay, so there, I've got my little circle. And I'm telling you guys, I am not one of those people that can sit here and just whip out a circle and have it be a perfect circle. I cannot. I draw a circle and it probably looks more like a figure 8. So it's just that by doing the clock, like I said, it just makes it a little easier. Now, these ones here, I actually cut in half. Before I glued them on, because I just want them sticking out a little bit in various places to add a little extra dimension. This is another good use for your take your pick tool, because if you need to lift it up a little bit where it's been glued, you can. This one might, there we go. I might have to, there we go. That works. I probably should have cut that little tail off, but that's okay. Guess that's a stem, not a tail, huh? Lucy, you're driving me crazy tonight. Do you want in or do you want out? She says, I want to be able to come and go as I please. Of course you do. Okay. See, so now I'm just going around and putting these, filling these pieces in, making it just a little bit bushier, but also giving it a little bit of shading by having this darker color. Out. Oh, I try not to leave my door open because I don't want my husband to have to listen to me this whole time. But she can't come and go if the door is shut. And I don't think she cares so much about coming and going as she cares about the door being shut. I don't think she likes that. This is kind of taking on a little bit of an odd shape. So I'm getting all these little pieces in here. I guess it's okay that there's a couple pieces that kind of go rogue, right? Remember, don't be afraid to cut up your die cuts. I mean, just because they come as a certain shape doesn't mean you have to keep them that shape. That was something that took me a while to overcome. There we go. Whoops. Get back in there, you crazy little thing. There. Now, just to finish off our beautiful wreath, we have a banner that what did I do with the banner? Okay, hang on here. Looks like I did not cut the banner ahead of time like I should have, which works out okay. We'll do it now. So I used the Pear Pizzazz, and here's my banner stamp. Is it going to fit on here? Oh yeah, it'll fit. So I'm going to stamp it right there. Clean off my stamp. And then I have my Just For You sentiment that I'm going to stamp on there. And I'm just going to use my black ink for that. Except for, you know what might be really pretty is to do it in brown instead. Hang on. I'm going to use my early espresso. It'll look nice with those greens, but it'll still be dark like the black. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't jump out at you quite so much as the black does. And then we're going to cut it. You can use the little machine for this one. Thank you, Marcy. Yes, Judy, I agree. It just looks a little more natural with the brown. Okay. So now we're going to get the die out for this banner. Get my little tape to hold this in place. I think I'm going to hold it in two places just because it seems to be wiggling around a little bit. Again, I apologize for the wiggling. You know, Susan, I agree with you. It makes it really easy to make a wreath. Like I said, it's not like this is a particular skill I have. I do not. I have like the opposite of that. And so I point that out because, you know, not just to be self-deprecating, but to point out that if that is something you struggle with as well, this is a really easy way to do it and feel successful at it. Okay, so there is my banner. Put it back before I lose it. Okay, now I'm going to take some dimensionals, put them on the back of my banner. Let's put one more on there. And put it right in the middle. And then, just to give it that little extra something, you know what? Got these. You know what? We forgot to put these on the last card. Let's do that really quick. So I did put a few of the fine sparkle adhesive backed gems just to give a little interest up there. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. There. That just gives it a little something. Put those away. Okay, now on this card, I took our Pearl Basic Jewels and I used quite a few of my pearls on this one, but I loved how it turned out. So each section that I'm doing this, I'm doing 2 little ones and a big one. Whoops. Is it little ones or the medium size? It's the little ones. So let's take that guy back off. Sorry, go back to your friends. Because I used a big and 2 tinies. How's that? Big and 2 tinies. There we go. Da, da, da. Can you guys hear all that racket? Lucy is under the bed. She's getting a little big to be under there, and so she can't do it quietly. Goodness only knows what she's doing under there. I probably don't want to know. She's probably eating something she's not supposed to be eating. You know, like the bed itself or something. Okay, let me put these away. And now this one is done. What do you think of that? Ta-da! With our matching envelope. So let's clean up the mess here a little bit and we'll kind of recap what we've made tonight. If the amount of a mess I make is indicative of the amount of fun I have, I had a ball tonight. Get all these little pieces here. Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay, so Susan had a question. Let me look here. Thank you for pointing that out, Marcy. Let me scroll up and see what Susan's question was. Have I gone too far? Let's see. Well, I guess you can't see my scroll, can you? Did I maybe miss Susan's question? Susan, can you repost your question? Because I want to make sure to answer it for you. And yes, Marcy, Essish. It is now official. Okay, so she asked how long I've been a demo. Well, this time around, I have been a demo for January will be 2 years. However, about 15 years ago, I did it for about 5 years. I did it long time ago. And then when my kids were all in school and I needed to be more available to them to participate with school stuff, I had to stop because, life happens. And now I'm just getting back into it I've been in a couple years. Oh, good. My dog found a pair of my husband's racing socks. She does like socks. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. Okay, so here's the cards that we made tonight. We've got our beautiful pearly wreath. We have our sparkly negative image die cut. And then we also have our adorable little elephant guy on this Harlequin paper. I love the Harlequin paper. So those are the cards that we made tonight. I hope you guys loved them. Thank you guys. You're so sweet. Oh, great. Jennifer got to talk to her daughter. That's awesome. Train of thought has left the building. If you liked what you saw, I love seeing all the hearts and the thumbs up. That really makes me feel good. But it also tells the Facebook and YouTube people that this might be something that other people want to watch. So that helps me a lot. It also helps me when you share the video. You never know who in your feed might be interested. Talina says the elephant's her favorite. Case away, Talina, case away. Thank you, Marcy. If you guys saw something tonight that you want to purchase some supplies to make it, or you want to take advantage, today is the last day of the weekly specials for September. If you want to get in on any of those, you want to find out about the joining special or the World Card Making Day event on Saturday, I'd love to earn your business. You can take care of all those things on my website at heathersides.stampinup.net. If you place an order under $150, please use this host code. It's what helps to make it so that I can continue to bring these videos for free. But if your order is over $150, please don't use the code. You'll have some free rewards coming to you from Stampin' Up. I want to make sure that you are the one who receives them. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to contact me at stamphappenings@gmail.com or here on Facebook, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Again, I hope you had a great time tonight. I know I did. It's my favorite part of the week, and I will see you guys next week, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Or if you're going to join us on Saturday for the paper pumpkin ideas, I'll see you at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Have a good night, you guys.